With more than 100 million customers and less than 1% churn, the lowest in the industry, Verizon Wireless is doing something right. And they're doing it with data and disruption. That's something right? Unified data architecture.
The unified data architecture, we've been working on that for over a year now. And as we see that unification, it's actually unification logically, but physically, it's the Teradata data warehouse, it's our Hadoop distribution with Hortonworks, and it's discovery with the Teradata Astra product. And it's about storing the data in the right place and making sure that it's leverageable and accessible through that whole ecosystem so that we can garner those insights out. So when you think about it logically, it's all in one place, but it's really distributed.
With access to more data than they've ever had before, Verizon Wireless is using a discovery platform to quickly uncover insights for the business, saving significant dollars.
We were able, with the Astra platform, to identify a group of customers who were going onto My Verizon, making a payment, and then calling our call center. Intuitively, that doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Why would you call a call center after making a payment? So after many attempts from a business standpoint to solve that riddle and address the customer issue, including incremental confirmations, oh, don't worry, customer, we've gotten your payment.
So we could see specifically that those customers are doing, but we didn't understand why. It wasn't until we actually incorporated detailed, unstructured data into our big data UDA and actually used the discovery platform to garner insights from the interaction of the customer service rep with the customer themselves to find out that, you know what, the customer knew that they made the payment, but they wanted to verify that their phone service wasn't going to be disconnected or wasn't going to be disrupted.
And so that was a very simple learning that came out of Astra that is associated to many, many calls into our call center, which we were able to eliminate with some business process changes.
Eliminating costly time for the call center and creating a better customer experience. With the unified data architecture, Verizon Wireless sees the customer in a whole new way through a richer set of interaction data. They see the customer from the customer's perspective.
So when there's a policy change, there's always going to be a reaction with our customers, right? Whether it's positive or negative. So what's important is to listen to those sentiments that they come to us in real time. So sentiment can be something that we listen to through social. It can also be something that we utilize and leverage called NPS or Net Promoter Score. And we can actually hear and listen to actual verbatims from our customers directly. That's unstructured data in and of itself, right?
Analytics give the business insights from text and voice data, understanding valuable customer sentiment on the policy change, new service, or new product, confirming that batch and blast is no longer effective. It's about listening to the customer.
We're finding that with the insights that we're getting from these customer interactions, that we can better target our communications, our marketing efforts, and our sales based on what the customer's individual needs are, as opposed to what we as a business think they might need.
Implementing the vision of unified data architecture with the Discovery platform took a partnership between IT and marketing.
The partnership between IT and marketing is one of the most important elements of a successful Discovery platform deployment. And specifically, it's any IT team can go out and deploy a platform, right? That's what they do. They do technical deployments. But in order to understand what needs to be deployed, how it needs to be interconnected with the systems, they need the business user and to understand what is it that the business user is trying to solve, as well as what is the business case that's actually going to get the funding for the equipment that's needed to do that implementation.
What we've been able to do in Verizon Wireless is actually have a very, very strong partnership with our business. So the businesses and IT are very much aligned on what our objectives are. We want to make sure that we're aligned towards an ROI or a value that's being proven through this technology, and making sure that we're leveraging the right technology for the right types of business problems that we're trying to solve. I don't think we would have been successful without the partnership that we have.
Successful in building an ecosystem that is user-friendly.
We literally took somebody as an intern from Rutgers, very intelligent, and was able to in 2 weeks be able to turn around a cross-channel analytics platform from beginning to end. It was amazing. It takes somebody, certainly with a certain level of intelligence, somebody that has a great business foundation. But again, this is an intern that's in college, It didn't take somebody that was a PhD. And that was astounding to us, that we could actually turn the Astra platform over to somebody like that and be able to leverage value out of that so quickly.
Verizon Wireless, employing unified data architecture to see customers and all of the data in a whole new way to find value.
Like I said, Arthur became the poster child.
Thank you. We are not talking visualization. But before I get into more details on the visualizations, big data, we always had data. But right now we have access to a lot more data. Let me ask a simple question. 5 years from today, in the past, how many of you had 4 devices on an average? And how many of you today have 4 or 5 devices that you need on a day-to-day basis? So you can see in your life, there's been a significant addition of devices. So we are generating a lot more data. And that is why this has become such a significant thing today, that everybody wants to mine that data, and you're using it at home, your Wi-Fi, you're using it on the go, in the car, you're using it at work. So we are generating a lot more content than we were 5 years from today. About visualizations, I just added 3 pictures. I didn't want to give a lot of different visualizations. You can do a lot more than that, but I wanted it to be more basic or generic, so it can be applicable. And I've tried using Verizon examples so I can explain it a little better. But the first one here is affinity analysis, which we also call the basket analysis. And a lot of companies are doing this just to see what are the 2 products that customers are buying together. If you go to a grocery store, a lot of times you'll go out and buy milk and eggs together. So those 2 would be placed close together, so you can go there, grab it, and come back. So this particular analysis also helps you online to see so if you're buying a phone, for example, iPhone, very expensive, and you would like to protect that. So you'd like the case. The moment you put iPhone in your cart, the next thing you would see on the website is what cases would go with it. So you will end up buying it. And based on your previous purchase patterns, we can also tell what colors you like more. So they would recommend stuff based on your previous purchase. If you bought OtterBox, if you bought black or red or blue. So that's the recommendation part of it. And that is why we need to do market basket analysis. So some of the things that we are using it today is do cross-selling of products, that if you're buying iPhone, buy a case with it. Upselling, if you've bought an Incipio cover, you can target the customer to upgrade to an OtterBox because it would provide more protection. If you feature it well enough, the customer might go for it because he's just now spent $600 buying the phone. Just, you need to protect it. Sales promotions, so targeting customer based on their previous purchases. Loyalty programs, whether they're effective, are customers using their points to do checkout or not? Store design, putting milk and eggs together in one place rather than putting it on different corners of the store. Discount plans, are they effective? Are people buying bundles that you're offering online or in store? So those are the different things you can do with this kind of analysis or visualization. The next thing is word cloud. We've all seen it. This is the new thing in all the presentations that you get to see. So what this tells you is what are the more prominent words. It's basically used with text mining. So if you run an ad campaign and you put all those words together, remove the offs and thes from the sentences, which doesn't add any value, you can come up with a visualization like this. It would tell you that either people are talking about iPhone 6 or plans or I like it, I don't like it. Based on what you're targeting, you can come up with a specific dictionary for this kind of visualization. And what Ben was talking about, so when we are doing sentiment analysis, it's not just taking a sentence and seeing if there is any negative words, but every company needs to build a dictionary around what they want to see. So for example, for Twitter, because it's 140 characters, the dictionary would look very different. You'll use abbreviations and you'll put a word in front of it, because a normal dictionary would not be able to read what goes in Twitter. For Vision, we have our own, Vision is our internal call center system where we put remarks. But when a rep is typing a remark, that is going to be in shorthand. It's very difficult to decode for a normal human being. I've read that and it took me days to even understand what they were saying. So you have to build a dictionary around that. So a lot of work goes into building something, but on a basic level, you can just put every sentence together and come up with visualization like this. It just gives you an idea about what is going on. Sure.
Are there any relationships between those words? Is there some kind of spectrum where if you move right to left?
It's not right to left, it's the size of the word. If you have so if a word has a very high frequency in the comments, the size will be bigger.
Right, but like the word next to it has no relation
No.
to the word?
No. It's just the size will tell you which is more prominent.
So you just count the word?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
The last one is very powerful, and this is something I think which was used to do the bill payment use case that Rob just talked about in the video. What this is a path analysis. So for example, if I go to a store today and tomorrow I go online, log in, and then day after I call the call center. If a company wants to see that, they can do that using the path analysis tool. So what this does is it'll tell you, okay, today I was at the store, tomorrow I went to the call center, and it continues. So you can build it over a specified period of time. Starting here, you will know exactly how many customers moved from A point to point B, how many moved from this place to this place. And the way it can be used is you can see patterns around customers, which are the customers who would most likely go to a store, which are the customers who would most likely go from the same channel to the same channel, and which are the customers who will transition to different points to get the same information. So you can target to make the experience better in terms of what is the one question that they're asking again and again. So going back to the same example, people were paying their bills and calling the call center immediately to verify whether their bills were paid. That can be done through this. So I can specifically target the customers who were online, and then they call the call center within 1 hour, and then do a text analytics on top of it to understand why they called the call center, to reduce that cost. So now, after we figured out that it was because they wanted to confirm whether they had paid their bill or not, we started giving them a pop-up saying that we've received your payment, and that stopped the calls. So you can come up with solutions like this. So these are the 3 visualizations that I've used this one the most in my 1 year that I did big data analysis. I always used to start from this because there are so many hidden patterns that you would otherwise not see. But if you trace the customer from point A to point B, you'll be able to understand a lot more.
What's the common thread? Is it the phone number or the cell phone number? Or there's got to be a common thread that starts, but you don't know if it's the same customer going to the store, do you?
So it is your
You got
cust
it.
ID. Every phone number has a cust ID. When you log in, that we know that you've logged in. If you don't log in, we can do it through IP if you've logged in multiple times through the same IP, but it requires a lot more effort. The simplest way is just look at the same cust ID. Very big.
So the nice thing about this is a visual to space is that basically the size determines the volume.
Yeah.
So you can see, let's say this, it could be anything. This one says affiliate goes to another affiliate, meaning that the people go in this direction. But then there's a group that once they reach this point, went to another. Not that way?
It's
Right.
people who came from display. A part of
Okay,
it
that way.
went to affiliate, and another part of it went back to the display, and the third thread you can see where it's flowing. So it'll always start from here
Okay.
and end there.
So, but the idea is you have a volume and then you can track, follow their path. And what you're looking for are those patterns. And say, okay, I know that they went from affiliate to affiliate, that was the biggest one. And then this one was smaller, and this one was
And
smaller.
obviously you're looking for the majority, what you're going after.
Yeah,
You're not going to come to everybody, but you're going to go for.
but sometimes, you say, why did a customer do that?
Yeah.
Why are they going from, from mobile to social media or something like that? There might be something you find in just the visual display and say, maybe I don't want my customer to do that. And what is it? And you go more deeply into it and say, hey, they're doing it for this reason, and maybe I can change their behavior. And then I can look at it in a month and say, did they keep doing it? Did they increase their volume, or did they decrease? Anyway, I just want to thank you for listening to us, and I hope you learned something.